Okay, episode 25.
Welcome back.
We're getting back into specific topics this week.
Now the lockdown's over.
Yeah, thank goodness for that. But, okay, do you want to kick off?
Yeah, so Keenan called me the other night, and we had a bit of a discussion because apparently I owe his beautiful wife Steph an apology for the shitting on the education system I did.
Oh.
As a teacher. She was not happy. She's lovely. They were watching our podcast, and Keenan was basically going, every time I said, we didn't learn that in high school, he was like, yeah, we did. You just didn't go to that class. and then
What I was saying.
Not so, I don't think as much. And then I'd say stuff like, like, they didn't teach us that. And then he'd be like, yeah, they did. You just weren't paying attention.
Okay, well, it would be interesting to get a teacher's perspective.
It would be. Maybe Steph and Ken should come in.
Yeah.
I needed to get that out of the way. So,
oh my God, we could have a debate.
We could. So I'm sorry. Is what I think what I owed Keenan is what he called me for, and Steph. I apologise. I still stand by a lot of the statements I made.
I didn't know any of that. So
Yeah,
there you go.
I sprung that on Bec last minute.
Yeah. Speaking of school stuff, what we're going to talk about today is 10 things that I would tell my younger self.
Bec is prepared and I have not, so this is going to be interesting.
The reason that I wanted to talk about this, I think it sparked from this new book that I started reading today, which is called AntiDiet. So I'll report back on it, but it's just talking a lot about, I don't know who it's by, about diet culture and basically like the Western culture is diet culture.
Yeah.
And like how to eradicate that. So I thought it was interesting because, yeah.
I mean, without knowing anything about your book, it is interesting that way back when, before we had processed food, you only had what was available to you. You only ate when you caught what you ate, or grew what you ate. Ate what you grew. And now we have just carbohydrates on carbohydrates on carbohydrates, and they're all super simple. And I heard someone speaking the other day, I know this is off topic, I'll be really quick. I heard someone talking the other day about when our body gets those carbohydrates, those delicious sugars that we have in anything, whether it's drinks or food or whatever it had be, the reason your body likes it so much is because it can use the energy so quickly. And it tells your brain, oh, this is energy that we need to keep living. It's just not good, but the brain doesn't know the difference between it. So it just tells you, that was good, give me more of that. That was useful energy that I could use.
That's how people become addicted to it.
Yeah. So sorry, I digressed a little bit there.
Do you want to go first?
You go first.
What's your first one?
My first, you go first.
Okay. First one is, it's okay to be weird or different to your friends or than your friends.
Oh.
And I say that because in high school, I feel like I just tried super hard to like be like everybody else. And I don't like any of the people that I went to school with. No offense. I mean, okay, I shouldn't say that. I'm not friends with any of the people that I was friends with in high school anymore.
For reasons.
Yeah.
Particular reasons.
And I'm just not that person. Obviously, we're very different to how we were in high school, but I felt like I constantly had to try to be friends with them. And like, you shouldn't have to try to be friends with people. So I think I would tell myself that.
I like it. So we're going as far back as school?
Yeah. Well, that's high school to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably tell myself that, and this is unfortunately going to go back on exactly what I just said and apologising to Stephen Keenan, but don't stress about failing school.
Yep.
It won't be the end of you. It'll probably be the first thing.
I have one similar to that, actually.
Yeah, I used to worry about, because I never tried.
Yeah.
I never put effort into school. In fact, I was just telling you, I just found my report cards from primary school.
Would you say apply yourself? Actually, that's another one I could have added. Apply yourself. I didn't either.
Yeah. So I found my report cards from primary school.
Yeah.
Randomly. And so there's 7 years, 2 semesters each, and like every single report card bar 2. So like 12 different report cards, all in the general comments said the same thing. Aiden needs to pay more attention. Or Aiden does not focus. And now, yeah, and so I think I would tell my younger self, don't stress. You're not an idiot. Those things are just boring you.
Yeah. I had, I'm going to skip down. Do things for yourself and not because you think others want you to do them. I went to uni because everyone told me that I couldn't and they wanted me to.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, fuck you. I got into uni and I finished that goddamn degree. Did I use it? No, and now I'm in a lot of debt for it. So,
As is everyone else.
yeah.
That's a good one. I like that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't do shit just because everybody else thinks you should.
Yeah.
I've heard, not this is about him, but I've heard Joe say on the podcast before that he went to college because everybody else was.
Yeah, well, that's what they tell you to do in school. Anyway, well, we're not going to get off topic.
Yeah, won't harp on.
Yeah. What's your second one?
My second one would be move your body, because I played soccer in school. I wasn't great at it, but I played it, and I played like a lot of different sports, but I never like stuck with any of them. I liked to not have to do that, and now obviously I see a huge benefit in moving your body and understanding what your body's capable of. Yeah. And I could have learnt that earlier, and I think it would help me if that Aiden knew it. Mm-hmm. It would have benefited this Aiden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't please everyone.
That is a good one.
3.
Yeah.
I'm still learning that one.
Yeah. So you would you'd tell your younger self that, so you would learn that earlier?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Tell me another one.
Right. What's your third one?
I had it prepared. We spoke about this.
Okay. My next one is everyone has trauma or family shit they've been through or are going through.
Yeah, I like that.
And I say that because I always felt like I was the only one.
Yeah.
That was going through all of this shit. I remember in primary school, no one had divorced parents. Except me back then in my school. So, like, I felt so alone. And, like, I was, like, signaled out because I was from a split family. But it happens all the time now. And maybe that was just the time then. But also, like...
Also, maybe other people just didn't talk about it.
And that's the other thing.
And maybe they were going through it. And it just wasn't important for them.
But I never knew, obviously. Yeah. And obviously, like, you then... As you get older, you realise how much other shit other people are going through. Some people are more open about it. I'm very open about everything. So maybe that's it too. But I think that's definitely one for me.
Like, my parents were breaking up they divorced when I was in, like, year 1 or 2.
Yeah, same.
And, like, I just didn't care. Nothing about my life changed except for the fact I started spending time at different houses. Like, it didn't negatively impact me at all.
We had very different experiences.
We did. I think something I would probably tell my younger self, would be other people's opinion don't shape you. Mm-hmm. It's just their opinion. Yeah. Yeah. Other people's opinion are their opinions. They're not facts. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you're happy at the end of the day, that's what's important, not what such and such said about you.
Yeah.
Just because they said it doesn't reflect anything on you. It's just
depends
words.
On what they say, right? If they're saying negative things about you, I heard something today that said people will say things about other people that they don't like about themselves. Yep. Or like a mirror, basically.
Yep.
And it comes back to hurt people.
Oh, I haven't heard that.
Yeah,
I like that. Good one. Yeah.
Because you would never meet a kind person and like a nice person that would say a horrible thing to somebody else.
We're all guilty. But something that I don't really like commenting about people behind their back.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident that I can say that. And most people that know me will know when we're together, there's not many opportunities where I'm going to shit talk somebody who's not there.
Yeah.
In the room. And call me out if you think I'm wrong. But with... I forgot where I was going with that. No.
Should we move on to the next one?
I'll come back to that.
So I think we're up to number 5 now.
Yeah.
Therapy is a great thing.
Okay. Interesting.
Honestly, everyone needs to go.
Yeah.
I honestly, wholeheartedly believe that, because even if you don't think that you need help, there's always something, and it comes back to that whole everyone has trauma or shit that they go through.
Yep.
And it's good to just talk it out. I went to counsellors when I was young, as in back to primary school days. They didn't do anything. psychologist, the best investment ever. So I would highly recommend. So should have started that early.
Okay.
Earlier.
I remember what I was going to say. So I try not to shit on people because I think of people like people that are successful. Do you think Michael Jordan, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, do you reckon they get around with their mates and like shit talk people? Or do you reckon they're too busy to do that? Do you reckon Elon Musk sits around like that fucking Jeff Bezos? What a fuckhead. Sending rockets to the... No, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He's doing his thing. He's doing his fucking thing. Yeah, so I like to think of that. So you don't think... Do you reckon Beyonce like checks her fucking YouTube comments when she makes a...
She doesn't have time for that.
Exactly. That's my point. Yeah.
Also,
Sorry.
she has a team that does that. What's your fifth one?
My fifth one...
Actually, I think of...
So... And I'm stealing this. This isn't a wise piece of fucking wisdom that I've sprung out of my brain here, but excellence in anything creates excellence in everything.
I like that.
Yeah, so you learn how to do one thing really well, and then you apply the same learning patterns to everything you do. So if you're shit at everything and if you don't try, like people that just mosey through life and they never get good at anything, it's because they never tried to be good at anything. Whereas if you try to be good at something, then the steps that you took to get good at that thing, you just start by nature applying those to other stuff that you want to learn.
Yeah.
And then you become, so excellence in that thing creates excellence in everything. Yeah. It was something that I've learned.
I like that.
Yeah.
We got some pretty good little quotes coming out here.
Yeah, babe.
This makes me sound like I was a really sad kid. I wasn't, really. It's okay to not be okay, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
I like it. It
all kind of just ties back in.
Yeah. With everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. I mean, look, we're fine. We're alive. We're happy. We're good.
How often do I say that?
So
all the time. Yeah.
What's your next one?
Go again.
Take risks because the worst that can happen is you fail, get an experience, or learn something.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah. You don't ever fail anything.
Like you learn something from
exactly.
it, right?
Yeah.
Or you've got to experience this thing and go, okay, well, next time I'm going to do it better.
Yeah. So. It's only a failure if you accept it as a failure. If you accept it as, okay, that's how you don't do that, then that's exactly what it is. That Mark Rober dude, the YouTube channel, if anyone's on YouTube, it's a fucking great YouTube channel, science shit. He did a test where he sent out this video game to 200 people. You had to basically just direct a dot through a maze. But you had to put all the inputs in first. So you go left, right, forward, left, right, forward, and the dot would do what you'd put in, but you had to put in all the information first.
Right.
Right? And there was one where there was no points and one where there were points. You'd have the points taken away when you fucked up. So the one where you weren't penalized, people finished the game. The one where people were penalized, even though they were fake points, had nothing to do with the game. You had so many that you'd get bored of the game before you lose all your points. Didn't matter. Those people all quit first because there was points to be lost. So if you tell yourself in your head that this is a failure, this is a loss, you've already lost. Like you said, it's an opportunity to learn.
Yeah.
You haven't failed. I think I want to piggyback off that. Yeah, learning. Failure is learning, not failure. Failure is a shitty word. It doesn't exist. It's a thing we created because of capitalism and everyone wanting to try shit.
Yeah. Save money for your future. You dumb bitch. I didn't write that. I just added that part. Like, I was just stupid. I bought a $200 fucking keyring from Tiffany & Co. because I wanted it.
Yeah.
I bought a new car. So, like, I just got a car, not just, but like back then, got a car loan. And I was like, you know what? I deserve this. Oh, that's great. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
I deserve this $200 keyring. That's disgusting.
You think so now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, save money.
Yeah. I would say invest.
Yeah.
Yeah, because every dollar that you invest is money back.
Yeah.
Learn the difference between to make that better. I wouldn't say invest. I would say learn the difference between an asset and a liability. And for those watching that are unsure what I'm talking about, Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah.
If anyone's read the book, an asset is anything that pays you. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. So people think that cars and houses are assets because the bank tell you they are. They're lying to you. A house costs you money unless somebody's living in it and it's positively geared. In most, and it is sometimes, which is fair enough. And a car is an asset because you can list it as a piece of property that you own that has value, but it's not. It costs you money in maintenance, fuel, registration, insurance. It's not an asset, it's a liability. An asset is something that pays you, like a business.
Or an investment property.
Or an investment property, yeah, when it's positively geared.
How many have we got left? I think we've only got 2.
That's fine.
Number 8. Travel more and when you can, because life is about experiences, as we said.
Yeah, I'd piggyback off that. I'd put less emphasis on the travel, only because there's beautiful places here. We just don't see them as beautiful because you don't have to cross an ocean to get to them. I think the experiences are the most important part.
But, I think overseas holidays are nice. It's cool to experience different culture.
That is true.
As well. The last one. Oh, no, hang on. I think that was number 9.
So this is the last one.
Guys, this one's deep. And I'm still working on this one. This one was how I all started today. Because of the book. Your body will always change and you need to learn to accept it and be grateful that it allows you to do what it needs to do. And you're healthy. You're healthy, you have 2 legs, etc. And then I'm still working on it.
You are.
Because even though you may, at the time, you're like, oh, I'm never going to be this skinny again, or I'm never going to be this whatever again. I look back at photos now and I'm like, so tiny then. But then I thought that I was, I have this distorted view of myself. And I think, and I'm really interested to see what the book says about this, because this is what I learned already today, is you should just you don't have to be happy with how you look, right? But you should accept it. And then you don't have to love your body, but just accept it.
Yeah.
And then be grateful that you do have 2 legs, that everything is functioning, that you're happy and healthy and whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it's just about changing your mindset and not always feeling guilty and wanting to look like someone else.
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
I think it's also important to learn what you can look like. Because a lot of people go, well, I'm never going to look like that again, when you actually could.
But then also, would you want to look like that? Because then you'd look like a child.
Exactly.
And I think that's the other thing too.
Yeah.
It's oh, but I was 14 then.
Yeah.
Or I was 12 then. Not saying that that's me, but that's just an example.
Yep.
You're actually a child.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I'm nearly 30.
Yep.
And
you can a 30-year-old who does squats and lifts some weights looks fucking phenomenal. Versus a 20-year-old who's spends every moment worried about how they look to go out somewhere.
Yeah.
They're 2 very different looks.
Yeah.
And the 20-year-old's not going to look like the 20-year-old forever.
Mm-hmm.
But if they lift, they can.
Yeah.
It's which lifestyle are you going to adopt? Which one are you going to...
Always going with the weights, huh?
Always going... Well, why wouldn't you?
No, but I think you can still look... Oh, wait, we're digressing here. But, you could still do, yoga and Pilates or whatever. And if that's how you want your body to look, great.
Yep.
If you want to have more of, a muscle tone, obviously, with weights and do all of that kind of thing. So, yeah.
There was a gentleman who I used to train... I won't say with, but near, because we used to talk a lot and train at the same gym. And he turned 50 when I knew him. He's a couple of years older than that now. And one day he came into the gym with a cap on, and I just didn't see his face, so I didn't realize it was him. I thought he was 35. If I had guessed, because he looks fucking great in his 50s. So yeah, personally, I just see I see nothing but benefits in it.
What is your last one?
My last one. So I've done learning, some self-reflection, I would probably say this is really hard because I didn't prepare, which is standard Aiden.
Is there any that you could apply to yourself still now, like my last one? Like anything that you would tell your previous self, tell your younger self, but that you still want to work on now?
You're an idiot, and that's okay because you can change it. Because every year, I've said this to you before, when I was 20, I thought 18-year-old Aiden was an idiot. When I was 25, I thought 20-year-old Aiden was an idiot. I'm 30 now, and I think last year I was an idiot. I feel pretty intelligent now, but next year I'm probably going to think 30-year-old Aiden was an idiot. So it's okay. Just keep doing your thing. And
I feel like we've got a lot of the same kind of things.
Yeah.
There's a lot about learning and experiences, and
which is pretty much all what adults tell you when you're a kid. You're growing up.
And it's so interesting, right? Like as a kid or a teenager, all you want is to be an adult. Like, let me do my own thing. You just want to grow up super quickly. No, don't grow up. Stay young forever until you're 18, and then you have your own responsibility.
Is there anything that you were told as a kid that by adults regularly that you feel doesn't apply? Is there like a thing that because there's a particular thing I used to hear said all the time, and I kind of took it in as like, okay, yeah, probably. And then it's just not true at all.
The only thing I remember is like in school when people would say, like adults would say, like enjoy it while you're at school.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking.
And I remember like the first year out of school, I was like, oh, I really want to go back. Like I miss seeing my friends every day and like having a routine every day because obviously it's just so different. But fuck no.
No.
I would not want to go back at all.
You couldn't pay me to go back to school.
No.
If you took my current salary, doubled it, and say go back to school, I'd be like, nah, I'm good, bro. Okay, nah, just it's not happening. You're not sending me back there. That's just nah.
No. Definitely not.
Yeah. I would also probably say listen to podcasts.
I think that would be very different to go to school now than when we went 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's getting a bit crazy.
Yeah. There's so much more available and it's so much more known, I think, too. But I reckon we would like revisit this. Maybe we come up with a different.
Yeah. Maybe I'll plan for it.
Yeah. Because that was literally just like off the whim.
Off the cuff.
Yeah.
You came up with
off
a
the
10
whim. Wow. I'm like not. I'm not doing.
It's been a long day, babe. It's fine. Can I just mention the whole thing that we've been doing for the last week with the documentaries and?
Oh, sure.
So, for those of you that don't know, North Korea's fucked.
Oh my god, I didn't know anything about it this week.
I can't believe you didn't know anything about
It's
it.
so fucked up.
I didn't know that you didn't know. Okay, so for those of you confused, because some people don't know this, in North Korea, the people of North Korea think that the leader is a god. You can't leave North Korea when you're born in North Korea. The North Korean military is there purely to keep its citizens inside the country and foreigners outside of the country. If you are in North Korea, everything that you own belongs to the state. Your clothes, the food that you eat. If you trade the things that you own, that's illegal because they weren't yours to trade.
And 3 generations get sent to prison, don't they?
Yeah, so if you're caught trading your food with your neighbours for fucking clothes or some shit, yeah, and the guards find you, catch you, you and the next 3 generations below you, so your kids, and their kids are all going to grow up in prison because of you trading grain for fucking clothes. It's a fucking mess. And there's a lady who escaped. The name escapes me, Yonomi Park. She's written a book. It's hopefully going to be nominated for bestseller. And I had to bring this back to school. That's what we were just talking about. I know it's coming back. So she went to school.
Goes on massive tangents all the time. You can't tell.
Context. And so she she went to school in North Korea. Sorry, she went to school in South Korea once she escaped to learn that the Earth is round and that the world didn't begin 70 years ago when old mate died, because they think that the world...
Kim regime.
Yeah, they think that the world began when the leader was born. They didn't know it's crazy. Anyway, she went to university in America, and it was worse than the university in South Korea. South Korea's not like North Korea. They were educating her on the rest of the world. But when she got to America, she said it was a waste of time because they would spend the first half of classes discussing what pronouns to be used inside the classroom. And they would go on about what context can and can't be discussed and how terrible the capitalism structure is. When she just
didn't even know the meaning of I.
Yeah, she didn't understand that she was a person. She thought she was a people of the Kim regime.
Would highly recommend, if you've got Disney Plus, there's 4 episodes on it, on the Kim regime, and it's so interesting, but it's so sad.
It's really sad.
Yeah, but it's been good to educate us.
Yeah, so be thankful for what you got.
Oh, and like at the end of it, we were just so grateful that...
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. The fact that we're sitting here right now and no one can stop us from talking to each other.
It's crazy.
Like, that's how little it takes to be happy when you look from their perspective. When her father got sentenced to 34 years prison because he got caught trading metals that he found in the ground for food. He got sentenced to 34 years in a labour camp. And the average life expectancy of someone in a labour camp is 3 months to 3 years. That's fucking bizarre. Anyway, I just needed to mention that because we were talking about school, and it's a big thing that we've just read. Yeah. And I just think it's worth people knowing about. Very good.
That was a sad ending.
Yeah.
And probably actually, I guess before we go, listen to that. I haven't listened to it yet, but the Joe Rogan podcast with her.
Or Jordan Peterson.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic podcasts.
And yeah, I've heard quite a few people actually say that they listen to it and that it's really good. And it's a good perspective, I think, as well.
I know you don't like Joe, but
I think I do want to listen to it.
Yeah, or even just the Jordan Peterson one if you can't stand Joe's voice.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
We're gonna eat some dinner.
Yes, we are. Oh, it's late.
Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, everybody.
See you next week. Bye.